This is Emeka Ezra, and this is the Redeemed podcast where we talk about our past lives before we met Christ. I hope no one is listening, but if you are, please keep it to yourself.
Hey guys, welcome to February. Welcome. How are you doing? How was your week? I'm so sure that January was awesome for you. I mean, it was for me, but it was a little bit short. I don't know where this year is running to already. We just started the year, guys. I don't know about you, but January seems to be running for me. But it was a really great month, right? It was a really great month. And we are right now in the month of love, right? That's what they call it. Mm. We are in the month of love. Valentine is coming. Hey, let me get serious. So, um, I think last week I was talking about triggers, and I said I was going to talk more on how stress can be a trigger. Stress, depression, and sadness can actually be a trigger. And this is something a lot of people do not talk about. We talk about how movies can be a trigger, some discussions, and just companies you keep can be a trigger. But stress can be a trigger. And because stress can be a trigger, a lot of us don't understand it and do not even understand why. Why is it that I come back from work tired, and the only thing on my mind probably to just escape with, is pornography? Why is it that I am sad? Someone made me sad, and the only thing on my mind is to go watch pornography. I have a funny story. I was in 100 level. When I was in 100 level, I had this friend of mine. Well, I don't know we're not that close, so I don't know if I'll call him friend, but he was a roommate. You know, something happened. Yeah, 100 level, I was struggling with this addiction of pornography. You know, but somebody, my roommate, like I said, was strangely watching pornography. As he said, I'm quoting him. He watched pornography for um educational reasons. Strange, but that was what he said. And the day he said it, I said, guy, a lot of people are trying to get out of this addiction, but you are entering it head on. And he told me, I'm not addicted to this. Um I just watched it, or I watch it. I watched it a couple of times because I wanted to know what other people see in this. I said, okay, no wahala. So he had an issue in school. This friend of mine, he had an issue in school, and so he had to defer a session. I think a semester, a session. And he came back when everybody was about to enter. He came back to school when everybody was about to enter, I think 300 level or so. So he was depressed. He was not really in the best frame of mind. I went to visit him. Then I think I was about to enter 300 level. So I went to visit him, and I sat with this my friend, and I was like, bro, how are you doing? How is everything? It has been so long. And he just opened up to me and said, Emeka, when I told you that I was watching this for experiment's sake, when I went home, I became so sad and depressed because I just felt like I was a failure, and I turned to pornography, and I don't know how, and I'm hooked. I don't know how to get off. Like, guys, at first, there's just a lot in that story to unpack. But for this guy now, his trigger is an emotion, sadness. For a lot of you, it's the same thing: stress, sadness, depression, and just stuff like that. It's not because you watched like a movie that you are not meant to watch, or you listen to a music you're not meant to listen to, or you read something you are not meant to read. It's just because you are feeling some sort of way. And when a trigger, or when your trigger is stress and sadness or depression, it points to a deeper problem, of satisfaction, that you are not satisfied, or you are trying to satisfy yourself with the wrong thing. That you have a God-sized hole in you that you are trying to fill up with other things. Some people's um some people's crutch, some people's way of escape, is shopping or eating. That might be your addiction. But this is my problem. This is what I'm trying to say. What I'm trying to say is, you are trying to fill up a space that only God can fill up. Only God can satisfy you. And let me tell you, it's a discipline. The way to get off of this kind of trigger is by disciplining yourself with fasting. When I mean fasting, a lot of people's mind just go to food fast. Food fast, yes, primarily, but also, like, it has to be coupled with probably a social media fast. Basically, when I'm talking about a fast, what I'm saying is, guys, every single thing that can give you short or momentary pleasure should be left alone for that period of time that you'll be fasting. Fasting is meant to be a time where you say that, Lord, it is you and you alone that will satisfy me, and I choose you and you alone. So you sit with the word and you sit in prayer till you are endued with power, or till you are satisfied. Let me use that word. That's what fasting is about. And this is why many times when I disciple people, or I try to help people get off pornography, the last thing we do is fast for 3 days. The last thing we do is fast for 3 days. Let everything go, just you and just Jesus. You remind your mind, you remind your flesh its position. It is not your master, it is your slave. You tell it what to do, not the other way around. That's what happens in fasting. What happens in fasting is, Lord, even when I am down, you are the only one that satisfies me. Look at Jesus. Um Jesus went to fast for 40 days and 40 nights. And the devil comes to him to tempt him. And he reminds the devil that man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that comes from the mouth of God. That's what fasting does. Fasting brings you into a place, to a point where it is God and God alone. This is how to deal with that stress. That if your trigger is stress or bad emotions, you need to discipline your flesh. Discipline your flesh and tell your flesh, whenever you feel sad, run to Jesus. Not to food, not to pornography, not to shopping. Are you listening to me? Not to man. Not to man. Not to sex. Discipline yourself. Right? Discipline yourself. I was preaching for a moment, but guys, this is what has helped me. This is what has helped me. This is what keeps helping me. So have a wonderful week, ahead. Have a wonderful weekend. Yeah, if you're in this boat, right, I suggest that you should fast tomorrow. Yeah, start fasting tomorrow. If you've not eaten today, pray. Fast for 3 days. See how it works. Discipline yourself, right? Have a wonderful rest of your week. God bless you. I love you. God loves you more.